Welcome, friends, to yet another edition of Leaders Speak series of the Insurance Times. Myself, Dr. Rakesh Agrawal, editor the Insurance Times. In this series, we invite leaders from the insurance industry to share their thoughts and perspectives about the current trends in the industry as well as their company. Insurance Times, as you all know, has entered into 41st years of publication and most widely read insurance journal in Asia. So today we have a very special guest, Mr. KV Deepu. So before we start the interaction, let me briefly introduce Mr. Deepu. Welcome, Mr. Deepu.
Thank you so much, Rakesh, and congrats on being in business for 41 years. That's quite a milestone.
Yeah, thanks a lot. So, Mr. KV Deepu is the president and head of operations and customer service at Bajaj Allianz General Insurance Company. He has led numerous industry leadership projects as the head of operations, communities, and customer service in Asia's leading general insurance company. Mr. Deepu's forefronts the digital transformation drive at Bajaj Allianz, leveraging startups from fintech, insurtech globally, while leading a team of 1,600 people in 170 locations. A management graduate from Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow, he joined Bajaj Allianz in 2016 after a stellar career of nearly 20 years with GE Capital. He has been recognized by various industry forums for his inspirational leadership with numerous awards. Mr. Deepu is a certified Lean Sigma Black Belt and member of the Harvard Business Review Advisory Council and opt-in research group of business professionals. He is a speaker on transformation and innovation at various domestic and global industry forums. So I think you most of the webinars that are happening, you will find Mr. Deepu there in most of the webinars. So thanks again, Mr. Deepu, for coming. So to start with, let me congratulate the entire team of Bajaj for getting IDC Financial Insights Awards. Bajaj Allianz has been always been the trendsetter and has been appreciated and recognized at various national and international forums. We would like to highlight on your guiding philosophy for being ahead of the curve and leading the innovation.
Thanks so much, Rakesh. Thanks for a very warm introduction. And I think it's a very timely question that you asked. In terms of what's a philosophy. So Rakesh, we truly believe in customer first. For us, it is not just a management mantra, but something we live by. And even if you look at our logo, it says caringly yours. I think at the heart of whatever we do, is what we call our 5-step process. The first step, is to actively listen to customers. Being an established company, we also get feedback from customers. But apart from that, we also conduct NPS surveys and focus group discussions, to get feedback from customers. So, we proactively, and reactively, listen to what our customers tell us. That's step one. Step two, is we also classify our customer needs, into stated needs and unstated needs. There are a lot of unstated needs, which also come through, which you have to recognize. Thirdly, once we have listened to customers and figured out their needs, what we do, Rakesh, is we take an inventory of our current landscape. What are our current processes and systems. And the fourth step is then to re-engineer them, using Lean Six Sigma, keeping the customer at the center. And only then, once you've completed these 5 steps, do we go to the fifth step, which is to apply the right digital solution. Now, it does not always have to be, blockchain or, the latest, state of the art buzzword in town. Sometimes, the simplest solutions are the best solutions. The idea is not to fit the solution to the need, but the other way around, right? Ensure that, once you understand the need, how do you get the right solution going? And, underlying all of this also, is a need for agility, especially during COVID-19. We ensured that, we were, there for our customers, throughout, and sometimes, as quickly as they wanted us to be. So I think agility and this 5-step process, I think, that's our guiding philosophy.
And I think your partner Allianz, so that must also be very helpful for setting the trends and getting forward.
Yeah. In fact, Rakesh, we are a joint venture of, two proud parents, Bajaj Finserv and Allianz. And also within the Allianz family, Bajaj Allianz is recognized, as a trendsetter. In fact, we didn't have a session last year thanks to the pandemic, but prior to that, we had a global best practice sharing session in Munich, where we had colleagues from all over the world. And, we were asked to showcase, our digital capabilities. So that way, even within the Allianz family, there's a recognition for, what India brings to the table.
Sure. So you have been leading the customer experience journey for decades now. So please share how do you continually manage to customize your processes to match the ever increasing customer expectations?
Yeah. Again, a good question, Rakesh, because it's in line with our philosophy of caringly yours, and customer first. So what we know do, Rakesh, is based on our understanding of customer needs. We ensure that we keep a handle on change in customer behavior. I think it's very important to understand how customer expectations are continuously changing
Changing
and rising, right? And the second, as I told you, is then we deploy the right solution. Sometimes it could be a very simple solution, and sometimes it could be
could be
a
a
very advanced solution. The third thing, going back to our point on agility, is we continuously, also keep listening to our customers. And as I said, agility is important because it's only when you react to customers, that your credibility, gets built. And lastly, I think, while we do all of this, what we need to understand, is that for customers, the two important cornerstones are care and trust. And I think that's something which we stand for and we endeavor to do. And I think this helps us ensure that, we are on top of customer needs, throughout the cycle.
and with so many players in the market, I think this customer differentiation, this service differentiation is of prime importance.
Absolutely, Rakesh, because, technologies come and go, processes, can be re-engineered, but then behind everything, there is a customer, right? He is the reason we exist. So I think as long as, we are able to focus on the customer, and as long as, we are able to ensure that, we are there for him, I think, that keeps us, going at, during, at all points in time.
Mhm. So, recently, a recent survey showed increasing customer expectations for seamless omni-channel experiences, combined with the push towards digital first, accelerated by this pandemic. So, which is putting higher pressure on financial services organizations to prioritize the importance of integrated CX strategies and investments. So, how do you view this in context of general insurance industry in India?
Yeah. So Rakesh, again, good question. If you look at the general insurance industry in India, there is of course, a huge, usage of, digital solutions and technology, along with an effort to, provide seamless and omni-channel experiences to customers. If we just go back, 16 months ago, when the pandemic hit us, we, for instance, were ready. We can't obviously, transform overnight. So we had invested, in digital solutions, much, in advance of the pandemic. So when the pandemic hit us, we did not just survive, but we actually thrived through it. In
Mhm.
fact, we were able to overnight migrate our customers, seamlessly without a single glitch to our digital servicing. Contact centers had to be shut down or minimized, but we told our customers not to worry. Our bots, portals, and mobile apps, would kick into action. And in fact, virtually overnight, 80% of our, servicing happened digitally. And Rakesh, what was a revelation even to us at that point in time was when customers moved from contact centers to digital tools, our grievance ratio saw a massive dip. A dip by 90%. That just shows how nicely we had built seamless
The systems.
omni-channel experiences, yeah, on our digital channels. And even if you look at our mobile apps, not only do we have our Caringly Yours app, which is there for urban customers, but we also have a dedicated app called Farm Mitra for farmers, which is
Okay.
not in English. And that has won us a global award last year. And like I mentioned to you, 80% of our servicing happened to our digital tools. So we have an AI driven chatbot, we have a voice bot, we have a mobile app, we have our portal, so on and so forth. And underlying all of these, our core system is connected to these customer facing tools using our middleware, which is our customer relationship management platform called Magic Care. So I think a combination of this helped us provide seamless omni-channel experiences. And this is the direction in which we'll be endeavoring to continue to raise the bar even in the times to come.
I think pandemic can maybe say it as a blessing in disguise for fast adoption of technology and maybe spreading of in the areas where initially we could not thought of or the way we could have thought of.
Well, you may not want to call the pandemic a blessing because obviously
Right.
we have seen, loss of lives. But
Uh,
to your point, Rakesh, yes, COVID-19 has certainly
no,
been an accelerator.
yeah, in terms of
Yes,
business, I mean to say in
absolutely.
terms of technology
Yes,
expansion and adoption of technology, because
clearly.
people were before
Yes,
they were not that much, they were reluctant to adopt technology. So now
yes.
they have been forced to use technology. So that
Clearly,
has
Rakesh.
definitely
Yeah, yeah.
helped the industry.
Absolutely. I think, we not only moved into a digital way of working, but also, but a virtual, but a digital way of living as well,
Mhm.
with work from home, with, complete, digital transactions all across. Certainly, it's led to a spike in digital servicing and digital interactions across the entire industry. So from that point of view, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So with InsurTech gaining prominence over the years, how do you see the general insurance industry evolving in the new environment? where the penetration of personal lines of insurance can be further deepened.
Yeah.
And I think in this times of where IRDA is coming out with more standard products, so the sale of this personal lines product should also increase. So, what is your
Yeah.
take on this?
I think the good thing is, if you look at the entire ecosystem, like you rightly pointed out, Rakesh, the regulator also has been, very proactive, in terms of ensuring, that we are up to speed, in terms of giving the right products and services to customers. In terms of insurtech, in terms of digitization, in terms of various trends, I think one good thing about, us as a company, and I guess, with the industry at large, is about, openness to change, right? Because you need to keep moving, with the change in times. So a few trends that we see, Rakesh, one of course, is the need for personalization, and I think aided along with that, people are also looking at hyper automation. How can you automate as much as possible across the entire landscape, and then really get very specific, from a customer point of view. I also spoke to you earlier about meeting customers' stated needs and also their unstated needs. The other is, what also happens, when you have these trends, popping up, right? Especially when you speak about standardization, what then also happens is, there is immense pressure, in terms of achieving operational excellence and cost efficiency, because that becomes paramount, when everybody, is converging towards, a common platform. And also what that will also do is from a distribution perspective, because we are a distribution led industry, even the distribution part, is getting digitized. So I think, these are the few trends, that you are seeing, as various, ideas have come to the fore, during the last several years.
Sure. And when we come to millennials, the millennials and Gen Z are demonstrating new set of buying behaviors. So, what, according to you, will help expand this insurance acceptance to this growing customer segment? And I
Yeah.
think with this launch of bite-sized products and sandbox innovation, and the launch of small products, how the things will shape up.
Again, a good question, Rakesh. And I think if you look at India, we are a mobile country, right? I think a lot of people, access, the internet, using the mobile. And if you look at it today, mobile apps are, everywhere. So I think given that, people are using mobiles, and given that, people are using mobile apps, I think our reach will increase, dramatically. The other is, when you look at, Gen Z, or, when you look at, millennials, right? In terms of their own acceptance, right? I think the increasing digitalization of the industry, right? Be it, a buy behavior, digitally, which is extremely seamless, be it even claims, right? That's a moment of truth, and today there are a lot of processes, whereby the claims process, also has got digitized. I think acceptance, will only increase, over a period of time. And also what is also happening is, as everybody has focused on digitization, people have also focused on going to areas where customers are. What this means is that you've also gone beyond English, to a multilingual mode, right? Because that helps you amplify your reach. So I think, being in multilingual mode, ensuring that, through mobile apps, and other digital assets, you get, reach out to the length and breadth of, the population across the country, and, increasing digitization across the entire value chain. I think acceptance, will only increase over a period of time.
And I think the millennials are also in a better position to influence their parents to change their buying behavior or pattern. Because I have come across a lot of cases where they are influencing that, no, you go for this product, or apart from this traditional channel, maybe by looking, comparing the things online, or accessing the things online.
Yeah, Rakesh. In fact, if you see, today, children are also, able to, help their parents, right? When the vaccination process first started, right, we all saw this messages on WhatsApp, right, which said that earlier parents took their children for vaccination. Now you have, children taking their parents for
For
vaccination.
vaccination.
So I think, yeah, taking a cue from that, right? I think this reverse influence, right, is also, increasingly coming to play, right? I think a lot of, people from the older generation today, for example, are much more comfortable with WhatsApp, than they were before. So I think increasingly, across customer segments, right, whether it is based on need or whether it is based on influence from the younger generation, right, you find everybody at large, by and large, adopting, digital assets.
Uh, I would like to understand your company's employee philosophy, as you are recognized as one of the great places to work and would have an integrated guideline for employee customer experience. And in this pandemic times, I think there has been a lot of stress due to remote working environment and also. How do you see that?
Again, a good question, Rakesh. And I think, what we did, specifically, at the start of the pandemic, because we had to ensure, physical and social distancing, but we said, let's keep our people, emotionally and digitally connected. So we came out with a homegrown employee engagement program called Celebrating You. And what we did, we said, let's convert, adversity to opportunity. So we basically moved from employee engagement, which would have been the case had we been in office, to family engagement, because now that people are working from home. So, for example, when we had a weekend MasterChef session, we asked people to, get recipes, floated on a WhatsApp group, and we
Okay.
had somebody's mother, somebody's sister, somebody's daughter, all the women in the families, contributing, and it was, great fun to watch. And then, we, for example, had a concert on Mother's Day, right? It was a concert
Mm.
performed by mothers, for mothers. So I think the fact that we got families involved, really helped us. And in fact, our scores went up. The employee engagement scores during the pandemic, were
Mm.
higher than the scores, prior to the pandemic. And also, we leveraged, this entire ecosystem to also focus a lot on, digital training, because, now we can, do it easily, because, for example, people in big cities like Mumbai and Delhi, save time on commuting, right? So we
Mm.
leverage this. We have a homegrown training school called School of Operations. So we
Okay.
focused on, training them, right? Refreshers on product, on process, and we leveraged, multimodal formats, right? Not just classroom delivery through digital tools, but we also leverage, the use of voice and video. So I think the combination of digital learning and celebrating, went a long way towards, keeping our employee morale intact. And that's extremely important, because what we need to understand is that while we focus on the customer and while we focus on the process, at the end of it, there are employees and they're also human beings. So we need to focus on them. So I think it's been a great experience for us.
And it takes a lot of time to nurture employees, and once you start getting their benefit, it helps.
Yes, absolutely, Rakesh.
So recently, Bajaj Allianz distributed 17 advanced life support ambulances in 17 cities as a part of company's Saving Lives initiative. So can you briefly elaborate on company's philosophy to connect with masses?
Yeah, absolutely, Rakesh. See, if you look at our philosophy, like we said, caringly yours, right? We are here to care for our customers, and the society at large, right? Because empathy, and care and trust, like I mentioned, are cornerstones of our philosophy. So the Saving Lives initiative was, executed, right, in response to the impact, from the second wave, right? Because we required everyone, the entire ecosystem and the society to come together, to literally, save lives of, citizens. And the idea behind, distributing ambulances, because we wanted to make a sustainable contribution to healthcare, across locations. And this will enable, appropriate care, at critical hours, right, for saving lives. What COVID-19 has taught us, right? It's taught us empathy, it's taught us resilience, right? And it also, more importantly, has taught us that we all need to come together to support one another, right, during times like these. And when we are able to, unite these forces, right, and come together, right, I think the power of, coming together, we can fight the pandemic, more effectively. And in order to ensure, the availability and the access, right, of healthcare facilities, right, we, gave away these, ambulances. And, we just hope, it
Mm.
goes a long way, towards saving lives of people.
No, definitely. I think these small steps can go a long way to build a connect with the customers.
Absolutely.
Normally, which you can't have.
Right.
So, with technology driving the change and business environment, how do you see the insurers coping up with advancement, digitization, and product innovation?
Yeah. I think we have already seen a lot, a large part of that play out, Rakesh, in the last, 16 months. For example, we launched pet insurance, digitally, last year during the pandemic. Similarly, like the point that you made, right, in terms of standardization, right? So I think players will increasingly, leverage data, leverage customer feedback, and then, come out with, more specific products, right, for, catering to different
Mm.
segments. The other is digitization. We have already seen, I think, large parts of the entire landscape, right? Be it customer care or be it, internal processing, digital tools are being leveraged, right? Be it bots, portals, apps,
Mm.
or other ways of, reaching out to customers. And what we've also seen, over a period of time, see, the more digital you get, the more data you get. And therefore, even analytics will come into play. And when that happens, you're able to give, more customized and sharper offerings to customers. So I think, the future is bright, from a data, digitization, and analytics perspective.
And I think with the technology, this TAT of customer servicing, this time taken for survey of the claim and processing of claim, that must also have been reduced a lot.
Absolutely, Rakesh. In fact, in motor, we launched a product called on-the-spot settlement, whereby customers, in case they crash their car, unfortunately, they don't have to call up and wait for an engineer to come and inspect the car.
Mm.
They themselves can take photographs and upload them using the mobile app. Our AI engine will assess the claims and convey the amount to the customer up to certain
Mm.
amounts, right? In as low a time as 20 minutes. So you're right.
Mm.
I think, with the usage of technology and, the right digital tools, we
Mm.
can revolutionize, the entire landscape, ensure that, turnaround times are crashed dramatically, and customer fulfillment is as real time as possible.
Because traditionally in India, people were a bit worry about this claim settlement process, because
Right.
earlier it used to take lot of time, and then documentation used to take lot of time. I think this technology will change this scenario.
Absolutely, Rakesh.
So, broadly speaking, what's your outlook for the general insurance business in India? And what the key trends in risk management do you see shaping up over the next few years?
Yeah. I think if you look at global trends, Rakesh, in terms of, insurance as a penetration of GDP, obviously there's a huge scope, for India to grow. And, also I think that there's higher awareness now, in terms of the need for insurance. So higher awareness, combined with, the fact that, in terms of global standards, right? I think there's no huge scope for the industry to grow. Risk management, is increasingly, playing an important role. All kinds of risk, right? There could be climate risk, there could be pandemic risk, there could be, risk in various forms, right? I think every firm, is trying to approach it, in a structured manner in terms of figuring out, what are the potential risks, what are the scenarios, right? And how do we manage them? And I think one thing which is helping, the industry in general, as well as, risk in specific, I think is the increasing availability of data. Today, you have a lot more data available, right? Data in terms of customers, data in terms of trends, data in terms of risk, data in terms of, global outlooks, right? So I think that's helping. The other important aspect, Rakesh, from a customer perspective, would be, of course, the rise of social media, right? Like I mentioned, we launched a product last year, right? We also leveraged social media for the same. But a lot of customers also, you leverage, social media, to approach firms for servicing. So I think, increasingly, you'll see the rise of social media. And also customer behavior, right? That's constantly, undergoing a change, right? Attention spans have dropped. People earlier, which if they would maybe, focus on something for 17 seconds, today it's fallen to 4 seconds. Similarly, customers today, have information at their fingertips, right? They can just surf on the net and find out, a lot more. So therefore, customer expectations and customer behavior is also changing. So I think from that perspective, the industry is adapting itself, and as customer behavior changes, right, even the focus on risk will change, over a period of time. So I think, firms are at it. I think the pandemic has helped people, get their grips around it. And I think, as we emerge into this new normal, right, as and when it happens, I think increasingly, you'll see risk management and, general, focus on increasing penetration becoming, integral and firm parts, of firms, strategic plans.
Yeah, and I think the insurance companies and the council and other regulators also need to have more sustained research and development, because due to, as you shared, this changing buying behavior is changing continuously. So we need to quickly analyze what they are thinking, what would be the futuristic product, what would be the futuristic services. So we will not be living in current only. We need to live in future also. What trend will be there, so that we stay in the market.
Absolutely.
What would be your message for young generation who are looking at the insurance industry with hope and aspiration?
No, I think it's a great industry to join, Rakesh, for youngsters, because it's a noble industry, right? This is one industry, which comes to the aid of people, when they are in tough times, right?
Okay.
So, so it's clearly, an industry which you can join with, with a good heart, right? And if you have an attitude of care and empathy, then I think this is the right industry for you to join, because you can actually, make a difference to people's lives, to people's lives. And we have always spoken about the fact that attitude is more important than aptitude. So I think with the right aptitude and the right attitude, right, I think it's an open place. And the industry, as I said, is set for growth, right? And if you look at most global markets, as I said, if you look at insurance penetration as a percentage of GDP, I think the only way is up for India. So I think there's a huge scope for youngsters to join, and it'll be good for the industry as well, with the attraction of new talent. So it's going to be a win-win for both.
Sure. So apart from this, would you like to add any other thing, if I may have missed, or any new initiative or anything?
I think, Rakesh, you covered, a wide spectrum, because we spoke about distributors, we spoke about customers, we spoke about employees, we spoke about digitization, we spoke about risk, we spoke about, the last few months, we spoke about the future forward. So I think, we did, cover, a wide range.
Wide range.
Yeah. So I think, it was quite a comprehensive, discussion.
Yes.
Of course, we can go on and on.
Yeah, no, yes, that is true.
There's no end to discussing this industry. But I think, by and large, I think, quite a few topics.
So I think we have almost come to an end of this session. So thanks a lot, Mr. Deepu, for sharing your valuable thoughts with us. And I hope this will go a long way in creating good growth prospects in the industry, and people would be more interested toward the insurance sector. So thanks a lot. Thanks for sharing your time.
And thank you, Rakesh. I think you made it interesting by asking some very good questions. So thanks to for setting it up so well.
Thank you.